Today is the last day of notes for this week, so that's kind of nice. Today's the 11th. Change the date yet. Today is super nice, super easy day today, which is good. You guys have a test over systems of equations on Monday. 9/16. I don't like giving tests on Mondays, but it happens. It would have been on Friday, but we had a half day, so I wasn't going to give you a test on half day. This, again, I am going to reiterate how important it is for you to check your answers. This is a great test to bring up your grade. The last one, it starts to get hard, ladies and gentlemen. This was algebra review. Starting Tuesday, we start algebra 2 actual stuff, okay? So if you thought this was hard, guess what? You're really going to have to work starting Tuesday, all right? So this is a good opportunity for you to raise your grade if you check your answers. This is the only test where you can test every single answer by plugging it back in and checking for balance, okay? Plug in your answers, make sure that they work. That's all you have to do, and you will guarantee 100%, okay? So I encourage you to start looking through your notes. This is all the stuff that we've talked about with systems of equations. That's why we put titles on things. It's the chapter 3 stuff, if you will. So go back and look through your notes. That's what they're there for. Also today, your test corrections are due. So if you haven't turned in your test corrections, today is the day they're due. Those make a big difference in your grade. So after you finish your homework, your classwork today, you have time. If you want to ask me questions on your test and need some help with that, then please do so. Make sure you follow the directions when you're doing your test corrections. If you don't follow directions, you don't get points. Okay, so it's simple directions. Redo the problem, write a sentence about what exactly you learned. And the sentence is not ever, oh, now I know what to do. Now I know how to solve the question. No, that's not good. Why did you miss the question? What mistake did you make? Maybe you didn't know the vocabulary. Now you know that you just have to plug in a 0 for y to find an x-intercept. Easy to do. That's why we have notes, ladies and gentlemen. Today's super easy. We're just going to do this one example and check it. Again, I encourage you. I don't require you to check every single answer. I used to. When I teach Algebra 1, I require my students to check their answers. I'm not going to require that of you, but I encourage you to check, 2 problems. Just check 2. Just check to make sure you know how to do it. Okay? Everything always seems easy when I do it, but you need to be able to depend on yourself on the test. I cannot help you on the test. You are allowed to use calculators. I did check down in the finance office yesterday. We have like 40 plus calculators, graphing calculators that you are allowed to check out. So if you do not yet have a graphing calculator, we are going to start using them. So it's important that you have that available to yourself, okay? You just need an ID. You can check out the calculator for the whole year. This is a 3x3 system, and what that means is we have 3 variables, an a, a u, and an x. And you can see that there's 3 equations, and that's really important. If we have 3 unknowns with 3 equations, then we can solve that system, okay? Just like we've been doing, we've been having like an x and a y and 2 equations. So 2 unknowns, 2 equations, you can solve that. And this is real math here. Everything that happens like in the weather are all generated by models like this. These are just equation models. And they get so many different models and so many different variables because when you think about the weather, there's like wind and then there's humidity and pressure and dew point and all these different variables that affect the weather. And what they do is they compile all these different equations and variables together. And essentially we're solving a giant system, okay? And that's how weather models work. And so this is, good stuff to know how to do. I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think you're going to do first to solve this equation or this system of equations? Which one do you want to start with? Yeah, the baby of the family. Yeah, this little guy here. We're going to look at the little baby of the family here. And because this equation only has one letter in it, I can solve that. That's easy to do, right? What should you do? Divide by 4. Easy peasy. Okay, so A equals 6. Very good. So we have one answer. Well, now what do you want to do? Move up to the second equation. Yeah, we're going to take our answer, and now we're going to plug into the slightly bigger one. It's like, Goldilocks and the bears, Oh, this one's just right. Okay, so now we're going to go to the second equation. 5a plus 6u equals 48. My daughter's in kindergarten, and that's their first unit is like fairy tales and nursery rhymes, that sort of thing. So she comes home and she has all these songs, and she's like, and the baby bear went in and he's like, somebody sheep in your head. And she gets all crying, it's really adorable. She's so cute. Okay, what should we do with this number that we just found? Yeah, plug it in. We know the number. We know the value of A, so we can plug it in. So we're going to do 5 times that A value of 6. And when we substitute, again, I'm using parentheses. What does that mean when they're like right next to each other like that? 5 parentheses 6. Multiply, yeah, it is multiplication. So 5 times 6 is 30. Plus 6u equals 48. And how do we solve this equation? Subtract 30. So we get 6u equals 18. And then what do we need to do? Divide by 6. Divide by 6. Today's work is so easy, ladies and gentlemen. It's simply, can you solve an equation? Plug in, simplify, solve. Really easy. Now that we've got 2 values, what are we going to do now? Plug into the big guy. So now we're going to the biggest equation. 3a plus 5u plus 3x, x equals 42. And again, we're going to plug in what we know. What do we know for A? A is 6. What do we know for U? 3. So we're going to plug those values in. So 3 times 6. Again, I'm showing, gentlemen, I'm showing all of my steps. But do you think you could do some of these steps in your head? Oh, absolutely. Okay, notes are showing work. That's what we do. What is 3 times 6? 18. And 5 times 3? 15. All right, so now we have this equation. What should we do first? Yeah, combine, simplify, combine like terms. What is 18 and 15? 33, good. Plus 3x equals 42. And then what? Subtract 33. 3x equals 9, very good. And then divide by 3, so we get x equals 3. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a stair-step pattern. You start on the smallest step, then you build up to the next step, and then you build up to the biggest one, okay? Now, I do want to show you how to check. You can use a calculator to check. It's super easy. We want to check all the equations by simply plugging in what we know. So I'm going to do 3, and using parentheses, what do I plug in for A? 6. Plus the 5, what do I plug in for U? 3, good. Plus 3, what do I plug in for X? 3, yeah. And what's it supposed to equal once I plug that in? It's supposed to equal 42. We want to verify with the calculator. Yes, it does equal 42. So I know we did it right. I want to check the second equation. 5, plug in for A. What do we get? 6, plug in for, okay. And then plus 6, what do we plug in for U? 3. And what's it supposed to equal? It's supposed to equal 48, and yes, it does, so we know we did it right. And the very last one, 4 times plug in a 6. And of course, we can do that one in our head. That's super easy to do. So we've checked all 3 equations. It literally takes a second, and that's how you're going to get 100%. If it didn't work, you need to do something else. You made a mistake somewhere, find your mistake. Okay? Do you guys have questions for me? Look at that. It's 9 minutes and 55 seconds. We're done.